It's a working man I am, and I've been down underground, and I swear to God, if I ever see the sun, or for any length of time, just get to hold it in my mind, then I never again will go down underground. At the age of 16 years, how he quarreled with his peers, for they vowed they'd never see another one. Go down that dark recess of the mind, where you age before your time, and the cold dust lies heavy on your lungs. Yes, it's the working man I am, and I've been down underground, and I swear to God, if I ever see the sun, or for any length of time, just get to hold it in my mind, then I never again will go down underground. At the age of 64, oh, he'll meet you at the door, and so gently he will take you by the arm, and down that dark recess of the mind, oh, he'll take you back in time, and he'll tell you all the heartaches they had had. For it's a working man I am, and I've been down underground, and I swear to God, if I ever see the sun, or for any length of time, just get to hold it in my mind, then I never again will go down underground. For it's the working man I am, and I've been down underground, and I swear to God, if I ever see the sun, or for any length of time, just get to hold it in my mind, then I never again will go down underground.
The wonderful singing voice of Marion Martell.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. No, that was great stuff. Great stuff. And you did say off here, you don't like listening to yourself singing.
No. I don't think any of us who do what we do
Yeah.
ever really likes to listen to yourself singing. Or if you're out somewhere in somebody's house and they produce a CD, I go to the toilet. I just can't stand to hear myself singing. I'm all right when I'm up doing it in a club, but oh God, I hear every flaw and every wee inflection that shouldn't be there.
So it was a number of years ago that you started in the singing, and then the comedy developed. And when did you take that conscious decision to start doing more of the comedy?
Well, it wasn't really a conscious decision. It was something just developed. I didn't consciously say I'm going to do comedy. I drifted into it. I must say I drifted into it. But as I say, if you got bad backing in a club some night, I would think, I'll tell a few gags here.
Yep.
You know, just so that I didn't need to, I wasn't relying on what was behind me. And that's how it developed. It just, I realised I had a talent for doing that. I had a natural sort of way. You have to have a wee natural ability to tell jokes. You know, it sounds contrived, and if it sounds contrived, then they won't like it there.
If it sounds too rehearsed as well,
That's
you know,
right,
and just
that's right.
you know, just like a scripted routine.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Because yourself and you know, guys like Bert Allen, you know, who you've got the timing. You know,
That's
that it's
Timing's
all about the
essential.
delivery, isn't it?
It's all delivery. But as I say, I must have learned a lot of that watching Hector Nichol. No doing his stuff, because it was totally different from what I do. But then being a woman, I can put a different slant in the comedy, and women will identify with me. You know, if I do a hen night, I'll go up, I'll tell routines about when I got married, about my first marriage to a Welshman, you know, and all this carry on, and tell them about the honeymoon night. And they'll come up at the end of the night and say, oh, God, I was right there. That happened to me, you know. And I think if they can identify it, it's more like, I suppose Billy Connolly tells stories like that rather than a joke.
Yeah.
And for me to tell jokes as an individual, or did you hear that one? It just wouldn't work. You get an odd one-liner, you know. I'll sometimes say, oh, life's a bit strange for when I was young. It was really strange. It is strange. Life's changed. I was just saying that to my brother-in-law in the shower this morning, you know, and I kind of get away with an odd one-liner.
Yeah.
But I tend not to do one-liners. I tend to do stories about something so that they'll identify with that.
As you say, folk can identify and relate to the
That's right.
stories. Situational comedy, I think,
That's it.
is how it would be described. Now, the other part I wanted to talk to you about is you said about taking your own backing, and it's no what a lot of the acts do, which is self-contained. They take their own backing either on an iPad
CDs.
or mini discs or laptops. Oh, I'm just taking cramp.
Oh dear.
Oh dear,
I
dear.
could rub that for you.
Oh, that was actually quite sore. I've got to say, but you take your own backing in the form of Alec.
I met Alec many moons ago, yes. And Alec and I have known each other 30 years. He's a keyboard player. And I just didn't go on with Alec when I met Alec. We were related, distantly related. His ex-wife was my and what was the relationship? My cousin or a second cousin or something. His mother-in-law, my father. I don't know. I can't tell you that distantly. But they used to meet at funerals. And they would always say, how's Marion getting on? She's still singing. Aye. How are you getting on? Aye. I've got a sweet jazz trio in at the town. And on the occasions I met Alec, I couldn't stick him. He was an absolute snob. And we were doing, and me, I'm doing, yes, Dorothy here. But
For the benefit of the listeners, I've got to say that Alec is in the room.
Well, he knows I've talked about him for 30 years. I've actually paid him to let me talk about him. But to be honest about that, we were chalk and cheese. And I liked Scottish music, classical music, and he liked jazz, still the same. And as I say, distant family connections, but we only met, I never even met him, but my dad would meet him at weddings and funerals, and that was it. So eventually I had lost a wee nephew, sadly, 34 years ago now, with leukemia. And he was only 2.5, so it puts a different face on things, and you think, oh, I've got to do something to fight back here. So I decided I would start working, making an effort to work all the time for kids with cancer and leukemia, and we've been doing that for 34 years. So Alec decided he would come along one night. As I say, we'd never met him, but he volunteered his services one night when I was doing a charity, so I was really grateful about that. And then that was fine, and we still didn't hit it off. He was still too snobby, but he came along and did a few of these shows. And as I say, over the years I would turn up and I just couldn't stand him. And I'd say, you'll be going here, you'll be going there. I just can't stick this, carry on with you, you're highfalutin, and turning up with a bow tie and all this slitting about. And he took it on the stride. But later on, as I say, we ended up working together, and he would be playing all these wee jazz runs. And of course, I played piano. Nobody knows I play piano. And I knew what I was listening for. And he was playing something totally different. So I'd sit him down and say, look, even in the charity shows, if you're going to work for me, you'll need to play something sensible so I can sing with you. So he did that, because I couldn't change my style of singing. He could change his style of playing. And eventually, as I say, we've known each other 34 years. And we got married 13 years ago. It took a long while, but somewhere along the way, he wanted to get married and I didn't. And then I wanted to get married and he didn't. And it went on and on and on. So eventually I thought, I better marry this wee yuck, because I'm going to D and I'll stay in myself. So eventually we moved to Bathgate, we moved to Longridge, then to Bathgate, and now we're in Kincardine, or as Snobby Alec calls it, Kincardine. Kincardine he calls it. And we've been there for 7 years and we live in the old church. So if you're near the clock tower and you want a Daniel O'Donnell cup of tea any afternoon, number 8, give me a wee chap. That would be nice. Lovely.
Oh, you'll get the whole of Midlothian popping over now to have
Not a bit of bother.
have a cup of tea. I'm going to play another one of your songs and then we're going to come back and have another wee chat. I'm going to play a song that was done by Foster and Allen.
That's right.
An absolute classic of a song.
Fust it, Allen.
Foster and Allen.
Fust it.
Foster and
Because I've
Allen.
been singing it that long, it's fust it.
This is Marion Martell with After All These Years.
My darling, come to me. Sit you down easily and rest a while by the soft firelight. Cold is the night, but warm is my heart with pride. Having you by my side. You're still my guiding light after all these years. Your soft assuring ways, the rock I am, saw me through